Hi everyone, Jill from AimFit here, and today is Monday, beginning of a new week, and it is my deload week this week. So, what does that mean? It means that you can either take your sets and halve them, or just reduce them a little, or you can take your weights and reduce the amount of weights that you are lifting and still do the same amount of sets. So, for me today, for the whole week. In fact, I'm just going to be doing half as many sets as what I normally do. So I normally do 4 sets of most of my exercises. So I'm going to halve that for this week. So let's get straight into it. We are doing deadlifts, then some squats, and some hamstring work and glute thrusts, hip thrusts actually off the bench, and a finisher as well with that. So let's get into our warm up with deadlifts. So going through technique as well as I work out for you. So starting off with a nice light bar, just warming up. So feet are under the bar, feet are a comfortable stance apart. So for me, that's hip width. Arms come directly down outside of the legs. So when you go to lift, you're pulling your knees out, pressing them into the arms, hips up first, top of head to sky as you drive your feet through the ground. Okay? Breath in the belly and drive, and breath comes out on the way up. Okay? We'll just get a few more of these in. Back is tight. Barbell comes down nice and close. Skims the thighs as you bring it down, and the shins as well. Okay? So, it's probably about a quarter of what I normally lift. Let's head on up through the weights. So you don't need this till later. If you don't have one of these, they're easily accessible on wish.com or Alibaba, or used to be easily accessible, I should say. I don't know how easy they are to get at the moment with everything going on. So it's really important to do some warm-up sets before you get to your working weights. So what have we got on here? 10, 20, 30, 46, 51. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit off. You don't want to jump up too high, too quick. Okay, you need to get your body ready for what you're about to do, not just go straight into your heavy working sets. You need to get your nervous system ready and warm up the muscles that you're targeting. Okay, let's go. We're going to go for 6 reps here. Still warming up. Knees pushing out into the arms. Arms come directly down. Hips up first, driving through the ground. So let's go. All right. Now packing on some more weight. So still a little way off what I'll be working at. Make sure you have a little rest in between, even though they're warm-up sets. You still need a little rest. So if you do deadlifts and you find that they hurt your lower back, you're not bracing through the core properly. So you don't just want to be sucking in the belly. You need to be inhaling and then keeping that air in the belly to keep it nice and tight. And then on the way up, you exhale. It takes a little while to get used to. Back practice it. Don't worry about looking funny as long as you're lifting safe. All right, let's go. Another 6. So those warm-up sets, 3 warm-up sets, that's enough for me. Feel pretty good. I'm going to pack my working weight on. So I'm only doing 2 sets, but I'll increase the weight each time. So I'm looking for 66 kilos to start off with, a total of 6 reps. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 6, I need another 10 kilos. So remember, if you have any questions, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we have our website, aimfit.com.au, and you can always get more info by sending off an email inquiry about coaching services and nutrition services that we have on offer. Okay. Let's go. 6 reps here. Whew, happy with that. 66, 67, 68. 68. So 68 there. Plus 5. 1, 2, 73. All right. So this has been like a little 4-week block of training that I've done. And with each week I've tried to increase the weights that I've lifted. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's reps. It's not always easy to increase weights. As long as training intensity is there, that's the most important thing. All right. Second and final set, deadlifts, bar back to the ground each time. Double overhand grip. No more over underhand grip for me. I think it creates too much of an imbalance in the body. And I'm unable to lift as much, but that's fine. As long as we're nice and even. Making sure you take your rest periods. So whether that's 60 seconds, 45 seconds, 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes, taking the appropriate rest period. So on heavy days, especially with the first lift, it's a good 2.5 to 3 minutes rest period between lifts. And then they might get a little bit shorter as the week goes on and the weights get a bit lighter as well. Okay, so just looking for 6 reps again. If I can go for 7, I will. I've increased the weight here by 5 kilos. Working on grip strength too, especially with this left hand. Done. Happy with that. Got out 7. Awesome. All right, so I'm just going to move the camera for you guys so you can see my squats for today. So we'll be working on a high bar squat. So I've moved it so you can see me under the bar. Pulling the bench out. So just moving the bench, guys. We'll be doing hip thrusts later on. So we need something to stand on, crew. Heels elevated. Squats today. So grabbing some plates. Try and keep it consistent with whatever it is that you stand on from week to week. The same height. Keeping that consistency throughout your lifting. Just so you know where you're at. All right. So 6 reps. We're going to start on 60 kilos for 6 reps. What have we got? 20. 30. These are going to be my ones. Another 30 gives us our 60, crew. Put those big plates on. So if you have any questions about working out at home because you don't have a setup like this, pop them in the comments below. You know, there's always alternatives. Where there's a will, there's a way. You don't need a squat bar to get in squats. You may just need to work harder at finding something that works for you to still work the same muscle groups. Okay, not everyone can squat under a bar anyway. So you're going to get the back view of me. You can see where I position the bar. My hair's out of the way. So we are doing a high bar squat. So that bar, once I hop under it, is going to sit up nice and high. Okay, so throughout the week, I'll change up where I position the bar. But because this is quad focused as well, with the heels elevated, they're also high bar. Okay, and that'll keep the weight top heavy. So it's right up on there. Get it in nice and tight. Elbows pulled back and down. Okay, step under the bar. Breath in. Bar comes up. Up on the heels. All right, back is tight. Breath in, and down we go. Bring those in a little bit closer for our next set. Okay, our next exercise, I'm just going to grab a dumbbell. Doing a lying leg curl. We are adding on ankle weights to get some more weight in. I'm going to do this off the ground today. If you wanted to make it harder, do it off the bench. And if you have someone spotting you, it makes it a lot easier. You can get them to put the weight in for you. Because I don't have someone helping today. We'll just leave the dumbbell on the ground. Really focus on driving the hips into the ground. Okay, no movement through the hips. A lot of people can move a lot of weight with this exercise, but they don't focus on driving those hips into the ground and keeping still, okay? I'm going to move up here a little bit so you can get a good view of the hips and abs staying still while we do our lying hamstring curl. Okay, you get the feet underneath the head of the dumbbell, okay? Flat on the ground. Now, bring it up nice and slow. We only want 6 reps here. Going super slow, and I'm adding in an extra quarter rep at the bottom down here. Really focusing on the hamstring. Only using that muscle to pull up. Two more. That quarter rep down the bottom makes it that little bit harder, which I need because I don't have a heavier dumbbell that fits comfortably. And 6. All right. So we're taking a 90-second break and going again with the high bar squat. I'm going to add on 5 kilos. I'm going to just grab my 2.5s from here. Because we've only got those 2 sets today. Going to try and really push that little bit extra, even though it is a deload week. Pushing that extra to failure on that one set is still less than what I would normally do. So I still won't feel as knackered at the end of it. So we're going for 65. So with all of my weights this week, hopefully I'll end up lifting heavier than what I have throughout the whole little meso cycle, the whole 4-week training block. Okay? Okay, we've got another 30 seconds. It's just super quick this week. This is going to be like luxury this week. All right, setting up high bar squats under the bar. So as you can see, no rushing through the reps when you do those. Take your time. Setting up for lying hamstring curl. So I'm going to record all of my workouts the whole week for you. And you can see how different each day is. So I've got 2 heavy days, 2 lighter days, like moderate, and then 2 really light days. And as the weights go down, the reps go up. So getting strong through all rep ranges, power, strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. One more of these. Excellent. All right, weight is down. Setting up for glute work into our hip thrusts. Bring the camera back over for you guys so you can see technique, form, weights, reps, etc., etc. All right, so move this back and put this on an angle for you. Set up weights while we're taking our rest. So it's important to make sure that the bench that you're working off is the right height for you. If it's too high, it'll be really uncomfortable and your chest will end up higher than your legs, and vice versa if it's too low. So we want 96 on here. So we have to get those 15s back off there. Next for an extra long rest. And then we're into our glute finisher. This is going to be such a nice week. I haven't taken a proper deload for a little while, so definitely needed to take it this week. All right. So we have both of these 15s on, and then we'll be at our working weight. Ankle weights can come off. If I feel like it, I might do a little bit of extra cardio. I really do miss my running, but only if I feel like it. I'm not going to go crazy doing, a million extra cardio sessions, because then that deload week would just be useless. It's time to recover. Recovery is just as important as lifting. Don't recover properly, you're not going to grow. Sorry, I'm off camera at the moment. So if you are ready, set up to go ahead with yours. And if you're doing heavy like I am today, we're just looking for 6 reps each time, but you're also looking to increase the weight each time. Now, if you were doing 4 sets of this, you might end up with an extra 5, to 10 kilos on the bar at the end of that 4th working set, depending on where you start. It might be an extra 5 kilos, as long as you're trying to progress with each set as well. Weight on. Then we lift. All right, so 101 might be a bit advantageous. We'll see how we go through. 101, 5 kilos extra compared to where I left it last week. I am feeling pretty good though, considering I've only had to work half as much as what I normally do. All right, so sitting up. Just getting the bench nice and even in front of the bar. Okay, getting your pad even on the hips. So when you thrust up, the weight is even, so you don't fall back down. Feet flat on the ground. Elbows into the bar to drive up, and also set your lats on the bench nice and tight, okay? 2, 1, drive through the glutes and feet. Let's go. Looking straight across. That is definitely heavy enough today. Holy tooly. I can't believe I made it though. Back over 100 kilos. That's awesome. Now I just got to work on deadlifts and squats back up there. Fantastic. Happy with that. All right, a good 2-minute break. And then into our last working set. We're into band work for our glute finisher. What else do we want to talk about? Change. Let's talk about change. A lot of people talk about wanting to change, wanting to lose weight. I want to do this, I want to do that. But if you're not doing different things in your everyday life, how do you expect those changes to happen? Okay, if you're not going to wake up that extra half an hour, 45-minute or hour earlier than what you normally do, if you think you deserve that sleep in, and then whinge about not having enough time during the day to do stuff, how do you expect to change? Where do you expect that time to come from? You need to want to change and initiate those changes within yourself to change. Another 30 seconds. We go again. Let's see if we can get 8 reps out on this. Last heavy set of lifts for the day. And then I'll show you some really cool glute finishes that we can do with the band and without the band. Okay, not everyone has a band at home. You may not be able to buy one either at the moment. So we'll start with frog pumps. But first, let's get these reps out of the way. Really good form. You still need to brace through the core with these. Arms up, glutes up, breath in. Two more. Oh, that was tough. Very, very tough. All right, we're going straight into our glute finisher. Lay on the side for you here. I'm going to do 50 reps. Frog pumps. Okay, hands by your side. Let's go. You can add weight if you want to. So obviously you don't need a band for this, but just thrusting. Pull the feet in, reset if you need to. Soles of the feet together. It's just lactic acid. Ten more to go. 2, 1. All right, then into some Jane Fondas. Let's go. So, yes, you might look at this and go, this is an 80s exercise. It's also great for your hips. Working on your hip abduction, healthy hips, strong hips. $30 on each side. All right, rolling over. 30 on the other side. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Keeping it nice and even. So you can rest your hand up here, or you can lay down. So no excuses. If you don't have a band, I've just shown you 2 exercises that you can finish off your leg day with if you don't have a band. All right, now a couple with a band. So we're going to do glute thrust. So in our workout, we did hip thrust. Okay, driving with our hip because we were off the bench. Now we're driving off the ground, so it's glute thrust. So we're going to do glute thrust with abduction. Okay, glute thrust, abduct 30 times. I would normally do this with a cotton band. They're both in the bag at the moment. Okay, cotton band would obviously be a lot tougher than the elastic band. No, still it creates resistance with the elastic band on. And I've lost count, so let's do another 10. All right, and then our 30 reps. Leaning forward, abduction, sitting on the end of the bench. Let's go. 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 3, 2, 1. Sitting up. So what's on for the rest of the day? We have answering emails, answering client queries, checking compliance with nutrition clients, lunch, kids, and more classes this evening. 20 more reps here. So this is it. Once we're done here, we are done. Get some stretches in and have a fantastic day. Remember, join me tomorrow. We will be doing our upper body workout. So this will stay on YouTube. I'll also post it to Facebook, and then you'll be able to find it on our webpage, aimfit.com.au. And remember, there's also an info email there. So if you have any questions about anything that we do here at AimFit, you can always send us an email, and we would love to get back to you on any queries that you do have. All right, so have a great rest of the day, and it's bye from me now here at AimFit, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, crew.